Welcome to another episode of Comedy Wham Presents with me, your host, Valerie, and sometime kitty co-hosts, Miss Purrington and Mookie.
Hold up. Is this another episode with you and your cats? Is this another episode?
Yes, Cat Williams. I'm Valerie Lopez of Comedy Wham, and welcome to the very serious Comedy Wham lecture series on being a comic from someone who's interviewed over 300 comedians from all walks of life.
Hold up. You can't fit all that on the merch. Look, I'm going to tell you who I am.
Okay, tell us.
I'm Ellis Aych. And I've been doing comedy. Don't worry about how long I've been doing fucking comedy. And if you heard my interview with Valerie, you know that we know something about comedy. All right? Yeah. I like that.
Okay. So we're bringing you our thoughts on about 10 different themes. Not about. We're talking about exactly 10 different themes. This is going to be fun, short episodes. Hopefully they'll inspire you. They might terrify you. And they'll get you to think about how you can push yourself.
Okay, can we call it class? Can we call it caca? Oh, shit.
ComedyWham.com is your place.
All right.
Features about all Austin comedy. In addition to podcasts, we've got articles, album reviews, Rochelle's advice column, my Austin Chronicle articles, our festivals list from across the country and the world, and our FPIA contest page. And everybody knows about our events page for live comedy shows in Austin, Houston, and DFW, where 100% of the entries you see come from comics and producers. Submit a show from our homepage to add your show. It's free and easy. Tag us on your Instagram stories and we'll share to our followers. And you can also buy promo boosts for extra promotion. Donate to Comedy Wham on PayPal, Venmo, or even Patreon by clicking Support CW on our homepage.
Vámonos. Let's go. That was a poet.
That was very nice.
See.
Today's theme is...
To write or not to write.
Yeah, and that's right, not ride.
Right.
Right?
Right.
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 Right. Sorry, I'm the only one using the goddamn little soundboard.
Okay, let me see.
Oh, yeah. Oh, depending on your decision, that's what could happen to you on stage. Oh, or that. So what do we mean by to write or not to write? I mean, we're getting started as comics here, and we're giving you some pointers to write or not to write.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, to write or not to write.
Yes, Professor Aych.
Oh, man. Aych, I love it. And my fucking name is Aych. My coworker don't even know about. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I love you, Valerie. Hey, to write or not to write. So when you're doing comedy, right, you're on stage, you are talking, right? Okay, but what the fuck are you talking about? What is it that you are joking about? What is the context? What is the joke, right? So it's almost like this. To write or not to write. What is your process? What is that process looking like? I know a lot of people, so you can go one or two ways. You can write out jokes. Mm-hmm. You can write it out. You can write the premise.
Word for word.
You can, like, damn near like a transcript, right? Mm-hmm. You can, and then you can do, like, to me, I used to write jokes almost like in like essay format. So I would the premise of the joke would be the thesis. Mm-hmm. Then there would be a point, and then the example of the point, and then a point, then an example. So that way it gives it a little bit structure. So I would personally write it out, and then that way, whenever I was to perform it, I would remember it almost not necessarily like a script. It would just be like my guidelines. Some people write bullet points. Mm-hmm. Hey, this is what it is. I don't necessarily need to write the whole thing out in its entirety, but I do need to write the subject matter, and me seeing it will help me talk about the topic. And then there's the other version where you don't write. Mm-hmm. You allow it to come to you organically. Some people say they write on stage.
That's
so
the phrase
that's kind of like, so whereas you'll always watch the tape as opposed to actually writing it. So I think today we're just going to explore different avenues of this concept and these processes.
Yeah.
Processes. Octopus. Octopi.
Well, it's not an open mic until you look around the room and you see people furiously writing in their little journals. The comedy journal is so important to the lore of an open mic. And from the perspective, okay.
My bad. Sorry.
Should I stop?
No, you got it. No, keep it going.
From the perspective of a comedy fan, I should have no idea what your writing process is, right? I mean, if I'm watching you on stage and you're making me laugh, I don't care if you've written it or if you've written it right there on stage or you do bullet points.
Right.
But I will tell you one thing, though.
Okay, tell me.
One thing, as a fan.
Tell me all the things.
If you want to write on stage, that's fine. Write on stage. Please, for God's sake, as a fan, don't look at your phone.
Don't look at your phone.
Yeah.
I concur. I think that give me something. Give me something, mama. Give me something. Press that button. Ooh, whistle again. I just got turned on. I feel like it's 1950s. I'm a white bitch named Beverly. And I just left the fucking ice cream parlor. And some dudes are going hubba hubba. And I'm like, bitch, leave me alone. I got church.
So that's my only perspective as a fan. When I dabbled in doing comedy, I would write word for word, but I very quickly realized that was a handicap for me because I would try to recite word for word.
Right.
And one of things that I think makes a great comic is just being loose with words and not thinking, okay, the next word is the next word is cat.
Right.
Because that's very transparent to an audience member.
It is very transparent. It's also like you can see right away. It's almost like taken away from the performance because you are simply trying to remember as opposed to performing it.
If you want to do that, go do a theater play or musical.
Right. I agree.
All right. So,
I'm trying
Professor, continue.
No, you didn't start kind of. You're gonna be biting my lip. Y'all, she making me blush. I'm a black man. How is this passive when my cheeks are rosy as fuck? It all to me. I mean, dude, it's what your prerogative is. Phone, pen and paper. To me, and video. I mean, that's really the only really things you can do to remember what you have written.
Yeah. Or voice recording. Like if you're riding in a car for a while.
Yeah.
Driving, I guess if you're riding, that would be weird to your driver if you're just like talking into your recording.
No, fuck that motherfucker. I do act outs in HEB.
Oh, okay.
Like if I don't have pen and paper, I'm rehearsing at HEB.
Okay.
Like everybody's got their fucking process. I like to find an empty parking lot and rehearse, but unfortunately, I look like a homeless man, and the police have stopped me. When you white, you eccentric. When you black, you just a crazy ass person. Insert the blank.
So in summary, respect the process.
Respect the process. Respect your process. Respect how you go about it. There's no one way to go about it. Writing. You want to continuously write. I do believe if you want to grow, because it's almost like what's that quote? It's like I think it's Charles Bukowski.
Ooh. You're getting literary on this?
Where he goes, the first draft is never good, but that might not be him. I don't know. It's some one of them white motherfuckers that be smoking and drinking. But anyway, the first draft is never really like fine tuned. Like it's always rough drafts. It's always like broad strokes. The more you write, the more refined, the more specificity you'll have within your act, which will give it more lifeblood, more avenues, more things. Like it's almost like this. If you're writing, and cause like, oh my God, to write or not to write, I was like, damn, this is a topic. I don't even know how to go about it all the way. Like, do we talk about people's processes, like in terms of like just writing it and what works best for them, or the process of writing in and of itself, or there's so many different avenues. But God damn it, we're gonna try to talk about it all.
I know.
So fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's start with the non-writers, right?
Okay.
Because I feel like this is just the non-writers is pretty much like you just record yourself and watch yourself, and you take mental notes. I really don't know how they do it, Valerie.
I don't either. I've met some. I've interviewed some.
It's crazy. That mother. I don't write. on paper. I write on stage. I'm like, bitch, there's no pen, there's no paper. How the fuck you remember that? But they record it. They look back on it, and then they, for whatever reason, have a memory of an elephant and just go back over their sets, and then they can see what needs to be fine tuned.
Yeah.
And
Shout out to Johnny Taylor, who's a Sacramento-based comic. Comes through Austin from time to time, usually at least once a year, and he is one of those unicorns.
Where he's just gifted in that way.
He's gifted. And he's not doing like little one punchlines. He's telling stories that are all tagged up with just hilarity. So for him to not write, it's just astounding that people can pull that off. But he's also been in the game for a really long time.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say he either been in the game a long time or that he autistic. Cause I don't know. Anytime I hear autistic, I'm like, he's got a superpower.
Yeah, that might be.
I get so mad when somebody got some divergence of some kind. I'm like, fuck. I wish I had that. I get mad. I'm like, Mom, why you gotta take my prenatal vitamins? Bitch, you fucked me up. No,
all right, we don't want to. We don't want to spend too much time.
Got you. Right.
People who aren't writing, because those are unicorns. They're rare creatures.
They are rare creatures. You are anomaly. We love you. We respect you. We don't understand you.
If you're a normie,
if you are a normal individual, you need to write. You need to write. You need to have a phone readily available. Inspiration is everywhere.
It is.
Inspiration is literally everywhere. Human interaction, the way life is set up, the way these potholes in Austin is, HEB, homeless people, like it's you want to have something in some resource, some tool to capture these thoughts. Because I promise you, unless you are like a genius or something, you Professor X, and you have like impeccable recall, you will not remember the joke or the cadence or the exact wording of it. And god damn it, the wording it's almost like, I remember there was this joke I wanted to write and I could not for the life of me remember the fucking wording of this damn joke. And it was like, and then it was like, damn, I can't remember how I worded it. And I worded it in that particular instant. I should have wrote it down, didn't have nothing to write it down with. So always write down. Even if if it hits you, write it. Get pen, paper, write it down.
Voice recording.
Record it, voice record it. Write it down in your phone. You have to write. Writing is integral. Writing to the comedian is like working out. It's the reps in the gym. You better stop flexing that damn mother. Ooh, okay. Ooh, with the ladies and gentlemen, that was the Valerie signature laugh. Whoa, we did it. Every time Valerie does that, we're gonna just hit that button. It is writing to the comic is what working out to the gym right is. You have to do the reps. You have to write. You have if you want to be better, if you want to be more, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Just more emboldened on stage. You have to have a level, because if you don't write, it's just you're missing out on like everything your act could be. You have to write. And then,
have you heard of the artist's way?
The artist's way.
No. So there are some people who kind of need a structured format to do the writing. If they're not used to writing for this purpose, the artist's way is like this. It's this method. There's a book, and there's a whole like cult-like status to the artist's way, where you spend an hour a day and you just write. Doesn't matter what you've written. It's the art of the discipline. It's the art of making sure you hit the gym every day.
Yeah. And just doing your reps.
Yeah, until it's just ingrained. I actually want to inject something here about writing. Like, it is important to write, but I think what's also important, because from my time when I was doing a little bit of stand-up, I remember thinking, well, the way I write it is the only way it can be, right? Because I wrote it. It's my brain. It's how I love this joke.
Right.
You have to also be willing to let go of what you've written.
You have to let go, because at the end of the day, the ultimate deciding factor, because I'm pretty sure, as all comics know, you have written a bit that is hilarious to you. You've gotten on stage. It did not pan out the way you thought.
Right.
Which means, A, we need to either 86 that joke or I know we're gonna do the other option. B, we're gonna revise it because we love that bitch.
Yeah.
It is whatever, we're trying to make it work.
Yeah.
So it, yeah, we gotta revise.
Do you have a rule for how many times you're willing to try out a new joke before you 86 it? And by the way, as the old white lady in the room here, I have no idea what 86 means. I just think all the cool kids are saying it. So.
Quit it. Valerie, you got that sexy silver hair. You better act like you know. I don't know. I love JID. Yeah. How many times am I willing to let go of something? To be honest, man, shit. If it is a joke that for whatever reason, I'm not willing to part with it, I'm going to keep working and revising it until it gets to because you got to understand something too. You have to trust your instincts as a comic. I think that's another thing, right? You try to trust your writing instincts. Now, when you are newer to the process, I'm not saying the audience does dictate stuff, but it's also like you are performing it. This is your stuff. So, like, do your stuff, but allow your decision to be informed by the audience as well. And then that way you can kind of craft it. And then whenever your instincts like develop and, get more honed, then it's like, okay, well, I know that this is working. I have a feeling for this. But you can, is it, under this context, does the joke work ever so often or it's never worked? If it never works, then let that bitch go. Yeah. You in a bad relationship. I don't know why you holding on to it. Let that bitch go. It is done. Yeah. You are not getting nothing out of it. Let it go. For whatever reason. Let it go. I don't like Frozen.
Okay. Sorry.
Hero 6 is better. You need to let it go. If it's not serving you, let it go. Yeah. It's you're wasting time on what you want to work versus things that could work. And now if it works 50-50, then work on it to where it gets 75 to 25, and then 80 to 20, then 90 to 10, then 100% of the time, and that's the process, right? This is the only thing. Everything is experimental. Everything is experimental until you try it out.
Damn, you're getting really good with the platitudes now. Everything's experimental.
Yeah, I'm just looking at you, and it's like, okay, sorry, wasting time. Everything is experimental. Everything, even things like will work, is in theory. Like everything you have in your mind, this will kill them. That's a hypothesis. That's a guess. That's a theory. So everything is experimental until it is confirmed. So you need to keep writing, keep refining, and just keep. This is the thing you just gotta stay on top of. And if you're going to write, and I think if you have a set list, if you have a good set list. Work on it until it's a great set list. And keep working, punching it up, finding different avenues, writing different perspectives. Maybe you have a perspective of bitches ain't shit. Flip the narrative as from the POV of the woman to give it a new, different, and now now the joke has more depth. Yeah. It's got more levels, got more avenues, flip the perspective, change the POV, really work different angles of these jokes. And, it'll help, at least I think. What the fuck do I know? I'm just wearing this gray shirt. I'm in a living room in Marble Falls. I don't know shit, but,
Thank you for keeping my.
Runberg.
Yeah,
Nobody goes there. That's the ghetto. I'm actually from there, but,
I want to add to that. Because I know that there are open mics, like Alden Schaub has an open mic where there's like a tag writing.
He looked like Peter Griffin, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Also, there, after you've gotten started, you followed our session 1 of our lecture series, and you got started and you started hitting mics. You make some friends, and you're like, hey. Do you want to meet up at the coffee shop and do some writing, and we'll kind of collaborate? And, in the absence of being able to get an audience in front of you right away, you could work with somebody to kind of do that refinement.
Oh, yeah. Like, workshops are good. Groupthink, it gives you new perspectives on it doesn't necessarily you did not consider. Yeah. Helps you punch up. I definitely recommend that. Now, I will say, excuse me, work on, if you're going to workshop with people, make sure this person is funny. Because you can work with a motherfucker that bombs regularly. I think you should say something about the lady's breast. No.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
We need another joke about pedophilia.
Why is there not rape in the joke? We haven't talked about abortion once. Okay, yeah. Hey, man.
Time to 86 that friend.
Time to. Oh my God, dude, you're nuclear, man. Oh man, you're freaking Heidi tighty. I don't know what the. Gee whiz. Nah, they took it back to Leave It to Beaver and shit. Make sure the people that you're collaborating with are people that you trust, people that you, like deem. Now, I don't want to say worthy, but you've seen their stuff and you're like, okay, this person is funny. Yeah. We can work with it. And funny is subjective, right? So let's say this person idea of funny congeals with your idea, because you know what I'm saying. Because different stroke for different folks. The group think is good. What else I had to say? Oh, going back to open mics, right? In the process, like open mics are good for working out and honing a new joke, a new premise. Because between each mic, you may not get the reception, but like let's say it's like, okay, it was cool. Let me add this. Boom. Go to another mic. Boom. Yeah. Because all these things are integral of one another, right? It's like open mic, all experimentation. The open mic is your platform to try it out, and then in between each experiment you're conducting, you have a chance to like modify your product. And yeah, I think the more mics you go, by the end of the night you got that bitch down packed. Yeah. Also, in terms of just writing in general, like the process, you may not have the joke figured out, and that is okay. Maybe write down what is funny about it, or maybe the incongruencies in this thing, right? And then come back to it. You can sometimes leave things and come back and it be refined. And also,
you may not come back to it for a year,
and you may not come back to it from years.
Yeah.
Years, bro. Like, because for whatever reason you're new, and I found out a lot of times. The reason why I don't come back to a joke is because I don't have the proper parameters to fit it into my set. Like, let's say there's a structure to or a framework in it, and I don't know where to put it in the set. For whatever reason. It's just not servicing me. But then years later, it's like, oh, okay, this works here. This is more cohesive when we put it here and there and this and that. Maybe writer's block. Let's see. What can we say about writer's block?
I have something that I want to bring up. So there might be some newer comics that love to study by watching other people's specials.
Yeah.
Just to learn like the art of joke writing.
I ain't gonna lie. I like that shit too.
Yeah,
I do.
But there's a fine line between learning the art of what another comic does that's got a Netflix special, HBO special, whatever, and copying their stuff, and that could be its own lesson. Don't do this. Don't copy somebody else's joke. But definitely try. If you're really interested in the art of writing comedy, study how people make word choices, how they move. Because we're talking about writing, but the execution comes in. You could say we can think of comics who something written on paper sounds like, okay, so that sounds like my grandma making a grocery list.
Yeah.
But once they bring it on stage, there's something about their act outs, their physicality, their voice, their facial expression that all makes it like hilarious. Yeah. So, sometimes writing stuff out actually includes those things too. Oh, yeah. But I just merged a bunch of little topics there with the writing or not writing. Is yes, study other people, don't copy other people's stuff. Write to the extent that maybe you're putting in, okay, at this point I'm going to go hump the stool.
Stop talking dirty right now.
I'm sorry.
You talking really dirty.
I'm so sorry. Ooh. All right.
No, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted either.
It's not?
Well, fuck it. I'm sorry. All right. No more messing with it. No, there we go. It's so late. The timing is important. We're gonna go.
Oh yeah, are we gonna work on timing?
Shit. Oh man.
So, do you want to do a summary, or is there more that you want to talk about with
okay,
this? Can you believe how fast this is going?
It's moving. It's moving quite quickly. I think to surmise everything, right, ladies and gentlemen, there is no right or wrong way to right or
I see
not.
what you did there.
There is no right or wrong. I see what you did. That was gee whiz. That was cool. There's no right or wrong way to write, right? Like it's almost like I did like a triple entendre. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. But whatever works for you works for you. I think in order to find out what works for you is a matter of trial and error. You have to experiment. Maybe you think, oh, I don't want to write, and then in reality you watching a tape and you're watching it, but it's not enough. And then it's like, okay, well maybe I'm not the video guy, but I need to write. And if you are going to write, then just write. Let your brain, and then, this is important, idea dumps. Just writing. Just writing. Sometimes you just got to write that bitch out.
It's the artist's way.
Just write with no particular end. Just get the ideas out. And, write and stay writing. Keep writing. Be disciplined in your writing. Because like we said, it's like a rep in the gym. You know what I'm saying? Writing to the comic is like a rep in the... You better stop. Ladies and gentlemen, if I go on a tangent because Valerie did something... Jesus. Gee whiz. We want to stay on top of our writing. We want to be the best version of ourselves. But you're not going to be buff. You're not going to get the abs. You're not going to get the pectorals. You're not going to get the delts. You're not going to get this good ass workout if you're not dedicated to the time in the gym. Anything that's good in life is going to require time and effort. And comedy is one of them things where if you do not write, or you do not have an effort, if you do not have a process, it will show itself on stage. We do not want that, ladies and gentlemen. So please write, and write when you are inspired, write when you are sad, write when you are in awe, write around. When you have an opportunity to create or to observe shit, get that phone, get that pen and paper, write. You need to write, because it's everything. Comedy is one of them things where everything can be at your disposal. Every single thing. My girlfriend, real quick, she was talking shit to somebody at the bank on me. She goes, yeah, my boyfriend ain't picking up his socks. She goes, hi, my name is Valerie. This is an automated message. And then she goes, yeah, my boyfriend ain't picking up his socks. And I'm thinking, oh, it's going to be some regular shit. And she goes, girl, shit, couldn't be me. I said, bitch, this is a recorded line. What are you talking about? But in that instant, I was like, this is a bit. Yeah. This is a bit. And then she tried to get back regular. She said, how may I assist you? I'm like, no, the jig is up, bitch. You're recorded. I'm telling Bank of America now. But anyway, that's an instance where you could write. Anything can be.
Everything's fair game.
Everything is fair game. You could talk about anything. You could talk about everything. So write it down. Write it down. I don't give a fuck. Write it down no matter what. Even if you don't have it figured out, you will figure it out later down the line. But it would be a travesty not to not do it. Like, if you don't record, we talk about not recording, but if you don't record, don't write, what are you doing? You're not going to remember it exactly how it is unless you have a photographic memory. Unless you're like fucking Rain Man or something, then yeah, shout out to you. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, please write. It'll do you good. And not only that, as you get better in comedy, you have a language. It's something about being on stage for a certain amount of time, and it's just like it's a refinement of experience, and you can come back to old archives that you've written to yourself and tweak that bitch up. Yeah, you owe it to yourself. Yeah. Do that shit.
Yeah, keep those journals.
I know that's right. Ooh, keep those journals. Everything you say, just keep those journals.
Stop. All right. Well, this has been awesome. This has been a wrap on the very serious Comedy Wham lecture series on being a comic from someone who's interviewed over 300 comedians from all walks of life.
That shit is crazy. Wait, oh no, wait. Oh, I'm gonna call it. Can we call it class caca pee?
Sure.
Caca, but
Yeah.
should we explain or no? Caca
two
pee.
episodes in, we should explain why.
Okay.
You keep saying that.
Okay, we ain't gonna do it right now.
No, why not?
We gonna make them wait.
We're gonna make,
you know how like there's
finale.
something like why is she like that? A teaser. Like they're gonna reveal it in episode 3.
Oh yeah, we might.
Or 4. I don't know.
Maybe.
Caca pee pee, bitch.
All right. Well, you can find Comedy Wham on Instagram, YouTube, and of course comedywham.com. Follow me at Super Meowie and come out to my monthly show in Lakeway at Canyon Grill on first Wednesdays. And Ellis?
Yeah, come, ladies and gentlemen, come follow me. My name is Ellis, HELLISAYCH. I'm sorry, I was trying to be Usher. It didn't work. Yeah, I got shows. Damn. We're recording. Man, they make it seem like I ain't got no shows. Like, I got shows. But they're like all out of state and shit. Like, I got a show in Tacoma, Washington. But that don't mean shit. San Antonio, but it ain't gonna be out until then. So I'm just like,
he had shows.
I had shows. I'm just damn.
R.I.P.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I'm unemployed. Okay, I'm trying to get my fucking. Oh shit. Okay, I'm telling. Let's wrap it up. I got shows, bitch.
There we go. We hope you enjoyed today's lesson, which is to write or not to write. Stay tuned next week when we will be presenting Finding a Mentor. Woohoo!
Woohoo! Mentors.
Oh yeah, just let's get that nasty ass chocolate crunching on the mic.
I'm sorry.